his meat hook at people and catching them and pulling them in. And in Dota 1, how it worked was that he would throw it out, and it would grab somebody and then pull it back to where he was. It wasn't actually attached to him necessarily, which is
attached to like the ground.
Yeah, it was really weird. It wasn't very well coded. In Heroes of the New Earth, they ported the game, and they made it so that when he threw his hook, which was really his arm, when he threw his claw, it would be attached to him. So they would go back. They would go back to where he was, no matter where he had moved.
Which even just like logistically makes sense because it's his arm. His arm isn't going to stay there while he leaves.
Exactly, it makes sense, and it works really well.
Right.
But in Dota 2, they've kind of made like a middle ground. When you use his hook, you can't, like, the recovery for the skill is so long that you literally can't really do anything before it pulls them in.
You commit to your hooks.
Yeah.
Like you either, if you don't land your hook, then you're standing there looking like an idiot.
Which can be good and bad. I think it's an interesting alternative, even though I prefer the Han hook where it comes to you, because it allows for you to, like, you know, as you've pointed out before, you can pick up portal key and just teleport after you do it and pull them even farther.
Which isn't even an option in Dota 1.
No.
I don't know about Dota 2. I don't know if they allow Blink Dagger on Pudge.
I think you can.
Dota 2.
I think you can, but I don't know.
It would
I
make
haven't
sense
tried
for
it.
them to do it.
Yeah.
But
that's actually one of the complaints I have with Dota 2 is that Dota 1, Dota 1 is a mod for Warcraft 3, and so much of Dota's mechanics are limitations of the Warcraft engine. So like orb effects that don't stack are a big part of Dota, and that's just simply a Warcraft mechanic.
Yeah, so they just made that the game mechanic.
Yeah, they took that limitation and made it a core mechanic instead. And in Dota 2, one of my problems is that they're keeping a lot of these core game mechanics, even though they were simply limitations that they aren't limited by anymore, since it's a new engine. But games like Heroes of the New Earth and League of Legends kind of solve those problems. Since they are new engines, they let themselves take advantage of that. So I guess the next game on our list is Bloodline Champions. For those that don't know, Bloodline Champions isn't necessarily an AOS. I wouldn't say it's the same as Dota or
really just an arena
or Heroes of the North or League of Legends, but I would say that it's of the same vein. It's kind of like as if Dota had sex with World of Warcraft's arenas. It's very similar to that. You choose a character and you fight in a PvP setting with a small team and complete an objective. There aren't creeps, there aren't waves, there isn't farming really. It's kind of just hardcore PvP.
Almost all the abilities are skill shots and can be scraped and stuff.
All the abilities are skill shots, even like heals. So it's very Twitch. It's like the Counter-Strike compared. It's more like Counter-Strike than like chess.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Counter-Strike to chess. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's solid.
But the new character that was released was called the Stormcaller. He's a ranged DPS class, and pretty much what he's all about is he's all about AoE damage. He does a ton of AoE. His main ability is Celled Stormbolt, and what that does it applies a debuff, which is pretty much central to his gameplay. And what that does is the more people that have that debuff, the more damage it deals. It'll like chain lightning to people that have that debuff. So the more you cast it, the more people it will encompass, and the more AoE damage it'll do. And pretty much all his other abilities either apply static or deal AoE damage. So he's very AoE heavy, which will be very interesting.
Especially since you're only operating within like what is it 3-on-3 or something like that?
I think the main form is 3-on-3.
So and you're in a small arena, and you're only operating within a few amount of people. So like that's like a big deal.
We'll see how that works. And just so you guys know, although Bloodline Champions has been free for its entire life cycle, you can now download it off of Steam. So I guess that just makes it more available.
Yep. So that might
more people will be playing.
Be into that.
Actually, on a funny note, I played throughout beta, but I kind of stopped playing when the game was released. So what happened was they set back your rank, like your matchmaking rank,
right.
But they kept your level, like your experience. So I'm a level 10 rank 1, and whenever I join the game, people are like, "What the hell are you hacking, nub? How are you? Do you suck? You're level 10 but you're rank 1?"
You suck.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, I just played in beta and they reset my rank, but whatever. I just think that's funny.
Yeah.
The third game we're going to be talking about is one of the most popular AOS games, League of Legends. We both played League of Legends. Did you play in beta?
Yes.
Okay. We both played in beta, and we played for about a year afterwards as well. And then we quit. And it's been about a year since we quit. We've been playing a lot of Heroes of New Earth.
We bought Han.
Yeah, we bought Han last Christmas, and we've been playing a lot of Heroes of New Earth and a lot of Dota. But League of Legends is still a good game. I think it's good for what it tries to do. But
it's solid for what it is.
Exactly. It's very different from Heroes of New Earth and Dota. So, if I would encourage you to try other games, but they are very different in that same respect. But one of the new heroes that came out, or champions, excuse me.
You didn't chew it at all.
Excuse me. I'm sorry that you didn't get chewy caramels. So the new character is Victor the Machine Herald, and pretty much his... Oh, before we talk about that, one thing that makes League of Legends unique to all the other games is that, you obviously know this, but is that each character, each champion, each hero has their own innate ability, which is like a passive ability that's unique to your character that you get at level 1. And so Victor the Machine Herald's passive is you can go into the shop and you can choose an upgrade for your, I guess, for yourself, and that buffs one of your abilities, one of your 3 core abilities.
Alright, so it actually gives you like an item.
I don't know if it gives you an
item. It does. An in-slot item, yeah.
Okay, it gives you an item. So is that kind of like a nerf? It means that he can only have 5 items?
I think they tried to make it so that it was on par with other items.
Does it give you stats though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It gives you stats. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I know it buffs your abilities. I didn't know.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well.
Depending on what you upgrade.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So he can pretty much He has an item that's his innate, and he can upgrade it to buff one of his abilities. And pretty much he's like a mage. He's like a mage. He's got a big AoE slow that stuns if people stay within it. He's got a vector targeting, which is what vector targeting is. You choose a point and then you choose another point, and it does something in between those 2 points. And that's he shoots like a laser beam and it burns people.
I've heard complaints about it though, because apparently it doesn't. No matter where you vector target, it fires from it'll always fire from one starting point or something weird like that. So it makes it kind of unwieldy to aim.
Okay.
Like it's good if you hit, but it's not.
That's interesting. I've never played him, but
weirdness. Yeah.
Okay. And what was it? Oh, and he has an ability where he what is it? He like saps them of something, and then he gives them a shield. Does it deal damage?
It damages them.
Okay, damages them.
Give them a shield based on the damage.
It damages them and then gives you a shield, which is interesting. And his ultimate is just a big Chaos Storm. I don't know what it is. It just deals AoE damage. It's like another character, but it doesn't take any damage. It's invulnerable. It just flies around and deals damage around it. So that's the new character. I don't think he'll be played that often though, because he's not tanky.
He's not part of the meta. Which is tanky DPS. So
yeah, he's kind of like he seems like a squishy mage.
So anything outside of ranked, you'll see him, but inside of ranked, you probably won't ever see him.
Okay.
Not in high ranked winning games, anyways.
Okay. Well,
maybe losing.
Yeah, maybe the ones that are losing. So that's pretty much it for League of Legends. You can go buy a bunch of skins and models if you want. Not even models. You can buy a bunch of skins. Oh yeah, you can buy a bunch of skins. That's pretty much all that League of Legends comes out with lately. Maybe a hero.
They're all $10.
Maybe a hero.
All $10,
once in a while. Well, they did actually get bought out by a Chinese company, so makes sense. Hey, they're pulling in the money.
There you go.
Actually, there was a ginormous patch. Ginormous isn't a word. There was a giant patch for Dota 1 recently that released 4 new heroes and a bunch of new items. I'm not going to go through each one specifically, but I will have the patch notes in the description, and there's a good video that I'll also have in there that will describe them in detail. But basically, there's a mage and 2 strength characters and an agility character.
There's a good balance of.
It's a good it's a good balance. I think
might be a little bit too much.
I think they're actually the less strength heroes than any other attribute. I don't know. I would say so. So having 2.
I can see that.
So
maybe with agility being the most.
Yeah.
Used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's the mage guy is all about slowing people. He has a move. He has like a really slow projectile, so he wants to slow people so that projectile hits. And he has one of the, I would say, I haven't actually played it yet, but I would say one of the best debuffs in the game. It silences and it increases magic damage taken. That sounds incredible. Like,
that's like a built-in orchid right there.
That's incredible. The agility character is, if you're familiar with Storm Panda or Storm Spirit, It's kind of like his brother. It's the Fire Panda, and he's got 2 katanas and he fights things.
I wonder if they're gonna make an Earth Panda, because then what do you do with regular panda?
I know.
You split.
I don't know. What they did was they tinted them so that you can tell the difference. But
That's weird though.
it's a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could make a panda team. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah. Literally what he does is he's kind of like Master Yi. He has like an Alpha Strike-like ability. I'm gonna get killed by the Dota fans for saying that, but it's pretty similar. And he summons little remnants, kind of like Storm Spirit, except he can teleport to them.
That's kind of neat.
There's not really, oh, he has an AoE grapple. I could see him being like a good initiator.
Yep.
But also like a hard carry potential because Alpha Strike, it's literally him like attacking, I think. So
Yeah.
it'll be based off its attack.
Because it might like attack modifiers. And
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
on it.
Yeah. But I don't know for sure. And then one of the other characters is one of the most interesting characters, I have to say, is the Legion Commander. He's a guy on a horse with an axe, and I would say there's a character in Dota, if you're not familiar, who's kind of, he's been coined as the only tank in